Hello everyone. Last night, Trump imposed the additional tariff on India. Hence, in this video, let's look at that first and then we'll discuss our regular pre-market report for today, 7th August 2025 for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. First of all, thanks for the patience and apologize for not making the video for the last 3 days. As I said earlier in my post, I'm traveling a lot at present. Anyway, coming to the market, as we know, on August 1st, Trump imposed 25% tariff as a reciprocal on Indian goods to export into US since India didn't agree on any trade deal. In that itself, Trump threatened that he's going to impose additional penalty if India didn't stop buying oil and defense purchase from Russia. In response to that, yesterday evening, Trump imposed additional 25% tariff on all the goods from India, and he said this additional tariff will start from 27th of August. So he gave 21 days time to say okay for whatever the deal US is proposing to India, which includes opening of agriculture and dairy sector to US. Just for info, at present India export about 85 billion US dollars worth of goods to US, and for now in that about 30 billion US dollars worth of goods such as pharma, electronic goods and petroleum products are in the exemption list. Here I said for now because Trump is threatening 250% tariff on all pharma and smartphones from all countries. If he does that means then either way pharma won't be spared. And so far regarding the Indian government response, they issued the official statement. If required, please pause and have a look. In short, they said Trump's actions are unfair, unjustified and unreasonable. I think it's just a political statement. We need to wait today to understand the clear government stance. From a market perspective, it's clear negative. We'll discuss in a moment about GIFT Nifty. And sector-wise, textile, jewels and auto components expect to have major influence as they are the major exporter to US. To some extent, I believe pharma also will be on focus. But as far as I think, Russia is and was friend in need. Hence, I prefer India just has to ignore US. Let me tell you the difference. When I'm in my workplace or with my friends in UK last 6 months, they always talk and worry about all these Trump tariff and global geopolitics. But in India, my mother, my grandmother, my sister and lot of people I came in contact in the last 3 days haven't bothered at all and they don't even know about Trump tariff. Hence, those 60% of the people don't care about what Trump does. Then the 20% like my father who knows about it and they also don't give him the attention. So the remaining 10% like we people who watch this video, who do stock market trading and care about geopolitics are worrying. Hence, let's stop worrying. I know whatever the government decision, it will influence the 1.5 billion Indian people and I hope Indian government knows what they do and they will take correct step to safeguard our agricultural interest. Let me tell one thing, India can survive the worst case scenario like recession, but Europe or US cannot survive the single recession. For example, 2008 global financial crisis which crippled the Western world, but India was okay because of its domestic microeconomic state. Anyway, in response to his tariff, GIFT Nifty from trading about 24,600, it fell closer to 24,400 mark. Then it recovered to above 24,500. Early morning today, it traded at 24,536, equating that with the spot market. For now, it's indicating gap down opening of over 100 points. Then moving to US, their market just responded to all the earnings release. At that time, Apple was due to release the results after the market close. Hence, on the expectation of good results, Apple share price increased 5%. Then, after the result release in the aftermarket, it increased further 3%. In addition, McDonald's beats the estimation whereas Walt Disney didn't. Hence, in the end, Dow Jones increased 0.18%, S&P 500 was up by 0.73% and because of Apple, Nasdaq rallied 1.21%. In case of VIX, it decreased 6% and moved below 17. About oil, because of India's non-US cooperation and US stockpile increase, oil price dropped about 1%. At the time of this video, WTI crude trading around 64.5 US dollars per barrel and Brent crude traded at 67 US dollars per barrel. Regarding Indian ADR, both the IT stocks closed negative like 1 to 1.5%, but banking stocks managed to close on the positive side. Then if you see the arbitrage, then also banks having positive arbitrage. On the other hand, IT stocks having negative arbitrage of 2%. Reliance GDR wise, it closed mild negative and arbitrage also having mild negativity. About institution, in the cash market for the 13th session in a row, FI was net sellers. They net sold for 5,000 crore rupees, and as usual DI supported the market. They net bought for 6,800 crore rupees. In case of participant wise open interest in the index options, 17% of new call options and 6% of new put options were added yesterday. So at present FIA having net 7% open interest on the bearish position. Proprietary traders similar net 6% open interest on the bearish position, whereas on the other hand client or retail traders having net near 14% open interest on the bullish position. Regarding index futures, FIA is super negative. They are holding 91% of their open interest on the short side. On the other hand, client and proprietary traders holding 69% and 62% respectively on the long side. Overall, together, both FIA and proprietary traders makes more money if market goes down, whereas client makes more money if market goes up. As a summary, US market closed positive, hence global momentum wise okay, but because of Trump we might have those negative influence. However, the tariff is not effective immediately. Maybe it may not be that negative. Yesterday, as per stock open interest, Amber Industries, IEX, Bosch, BHEL, Suzlon, Adani Energy Solution and Laurus Lab are some of the 107 stocks that got an increased open interest along with a negative close, indicating the short build-up. On the other hand, IIFL, Blue Star, PFC, HDFC AMC, Cummins India and BEL are some of the 23 stocks that got an increased open interest along with a positive price close, indicating the long build-up. About the things to look out, Shree Cements, Aurobindo Pharma, Sun Pharma, DLF, Escorts, Aditya Birla Capital, Marico and Bosch are some of the major Indian companies' earnings results are scheduled to release today. In terms of macro, before our market opening, lot of Chinese trade related data is due. Then during our market hours at 11:30 am, Germany's industrial production data and 1:30 pm, Europe's economic bulletin is due. And in the night, Bank of England's interest rate decision, and for US, their weekly jobs data, New York Fed 1-year consumer inflation expectation and 30-year bond auction are some of the important things we need to keep an eye out today. Coming to technical, Nifty opened flat, but throughout the day it was range bound between 24,550 and 24,650 with a negative bias, and in the end closed closer to 24,575. Thus on the daily chart it formed a medium red candle with minor upper and lower shadow. And on the more negative side, it formed the lower high lower low formation. Then momentum indicators, RSI is around 38 and in MACD signal line is maintaining its gap below the MACD line, and more importantly Nifty is now trading below all the key moving averages like 20, 50 and 100-day exponential moving average. Only it didn't break below the 200-day exponential moving average, which is around 24,200. So we could expect that as the very important support. On the higher side, 50-day exponential moving average around 24,850 expect to act as the resistance. Then in case of Bank Nifty, it also opened flat and had some negativity in the morning session, but on the afternoon session it moved on to the positive side and managed to close positive. Thus on the daily chart it formed a bullish candle with lower and upper shadow with a fourth session continuation of lower high formation. However, on the other hand, yesterday after 3 days of lower lows, it negated that, and in addition this candle is an indecision candle among buyers and sellers. Hence, this could be the first sign of either buyers coming back to the market or the sellers exhaustion. If not this Trump drama, there is a chance it might reverse here. Anyway, moving average wise, unlike Nifty, it's still defending the 100-day exponential moving average. Around 55,000 mark expect to provide some support, and on the upside, 100-day exponential moving average around 56,000 mark is the immediate resistance. Then on the weekly options front, the maximum call option open interest was at 25,000 25,000 strike, followed by 24,700 and 24,600 with maximum new call option writing at 24,600 strike, and then 25,000 and 24,700. On the put side, the maximum open interest was at 24,000 strike, followed by 24,600 and 24,500 with maximum new put option writing at 25,550 strike, and then 24,000 and 24,400. Thus, from options data, it's suggesting that Nifty is likely to trade in the 24,400 to 24,700 range in the near term. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video so that it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investigation based on this, as not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.